forcefulness that you put your trees in. Okay, that really helps to create better effects. All right, okay, let's go for a little float around. Whoosh. Okay, so here we go. So this is now pretty much the city in its entirety. Okay, so we have probably the last safe spot of this city that we're going to build in is going to be here, and we're going to work out how we're going to do that. Okay. What up, Donny? Okay, we're in, Donny. We're in. It's £17 a tour, by the way, but for you, seeing as you've asked so nicely, we're going to do it free today. We'll go for the full tour. So we started Westdale in March, I think, of last year. So we've been working on this a year. This is the original area that we started in. But a lot has changed and developed in that time as we've gone on. Okay, so we started off with Empire Heights, was my first attempt at a downtown area. Again, needs more detailing added to it now. But I didn't want to build a grid. Okay, I didn't want to build just a straight grid. Okay, so there is angles within that. All right, it's not just a straight grid. Okay. Then we moved down the coast, so we built, I believe it's Dakota Hills here. I don't know yet, we might have to build on the islands as well. I know you're interested in that, false bar. Then we built Dakota Hills, Sheffield Hills, Brook Park just over the other side of the hill. We've got all the plant work to put back in here, but we should have a nice view of our city from up here, or most of it. So I thought rather than build up here, we'd have a nice little tour, you know, a nice little scenic spot where people can go to. But again, I wrecked and took out most of the trees that were up here, so we're going to have to spend time putting all those back in. You can see the difference that having trees makes to realism, and there aren't nearly enough that are placed through this part of town, so we're going to have to fix that. Alright, after we built all that, we moved on to build Industria Park. So this is our big industrial area. Okay. Probably going to lag the stream like crazy now, but we're going to turn up the detail. Okay, so this area, this part of town, this is going to hurt, by the way, is my heavy industrial area. That's going to hurt too much. So I like it. So we had this. Now this wasn't originally an island as such. This was just a dry land bit through here, which was quite fun. But yeah, Industria Park was built. Now, clever tips for you guys if you're starting out. You might see that all the traffic's coming in this way, and all the traffic's going out that way. Can't stress to you enough to have nice one-way systems running around your industrial parks especially. So, although the traffic is heavy here, ooh, we have some trees in the road as well, which is not helping people. Let's just fix those while we're here. So, whilst traffic is... yeah, it's just a bit. Whilst traffic is heavy, it still flows, okay, so it still works. Now, we moved on after that to... We'll get to the central part of the city in a second. We moved on, we built, and I hate this part of town now. This is one of my least favourite parts of town. But we built that anyway, is all I'm going to say. I don't like that. I don't like that part of town. I don't like the modern part of it. After that, I went to do some farmland detailing, so we built the little city of Exmouth over here. And then we built our farming area. Now I am going to try it again just because I like burning down my CPU basically. So it might jump around a bit, guys, but we have a high detail mod running at the moment. So yeah, so we built farmlands in here. Okay. Now these were my first attempt at farmlands. This took me what, 10 hours, 11 hours to put all this in, so there's quite a lot of stuff in here, combination of a lot of things. So we have a little stream running through here, which I love, and then yeah, I enjoyed this farmland area. We have a road running through it, and then little farm tracks running through it as well. I think my favourite part is here. This is probably my favourite part. It just looks very farmy, maybe a touch more industrial than it should, but it's really nice, that I think, with the stream. And yeah, it's the kind of place that I'd want to go and visit. Those two need some hay bales in. So yeah, we built our little farm area over here. What up, wife? Okay. Oh, 2 seconds, there might be food on the go, guys. Okay guys, I've just sorted out some tea with the wife, so back to the tour. Sorry about that. Food is important. So yeah, then I built this other area over here, so I managed to get a little stream going off here, which was more by luck than skill, I won't lie to you. The land is very shallow here, but the water flows nicely down this little bit. We have little stepping stones if you want to cross the river. And then I added all these, so all the hay bales you see here, guys, have all been placed individually. Alright, so all those hay bales are individually placed hay bales. Alright, that gives you the kind of idea of the level of detail that we're going to go to. Okay, so then I really got into detailing, I would say, over this part of the city. Thank you, by the way, Reid, thank you. So I started doing much of my detailing work here. So this is when I kind of like worked out what mods I needed and what was possible. So so yeah, that's just killing it, isn't it? That's just going to suck up all the power of my computer, I think. So yeah, we built the Opera House. And I always point out to people, I don't know if you can see this fence that runs along here. That fence alone, I think the fence took me 20 minutes to put in, just along that bit. It's all individually placed squares of fence. So yeah, we had this was like another attempt at a downtown area. So you know, we have nice parks and so on like this. We have great detailing going off in and around there, which I like. And then I extended it around to include this cargo port. And again, there's a similar fence that runs all the way on this side. But I didn't want my Sims to be able to run off into the water. That was the idea, it's for protection more than anything else. Then we have nice little paths that aren't very decent for walking on, but that's quite a nice little shot of the city as well, isn't it? There, I've never really looked at it from that angle. So yeah, then we did that. Now the river that you see here. Oh, one last bit before we move on to the river. So we have my university district here as well. So this took several hours to do, mainly because I was working out how to use the overlapping mods that you can get. But I just think it just feels like a university. Obviously basketball's popular in this part of town. And little touches, I still love the car parks at the back. I still love them. Even now I still love them. And again, a little bit of fence work. This bridge, now the river as well, this river wasn't actually in the game, so you're more than welcome to download the map that I'm playing on, because you can do, it's free. Just do !map in the chat room, you'll get a link to what map it is. This river was added in by me, and all the details that go alongside it, so I'll use the keys for this, it's a bit easier. But I love having the train and the road together. We have that way around, so we did stuff like this. And this was kind of like my first attempt at doing any detailing work, so sorry if I'm swinging the camera around. If I do it on that mode, then everything just like... So that was that part. Then I wanted to build... We'll fly by there. Then I wanted to build a downtown area. Okay. Now this is called Fawlty Towers because the area I wanted everything to be tall in is this area. And none of them build big in that area, so... there we go. So none of them build big in that area, unfortunately, which really frustrates me. But yeah, we do have the canals in here, for what it's worth. They don't really do that much. But we have some beautiful parts of this town, like that just looks really nice, I think. But yeah, it works, okay, it works. And then we extended that, and I wanted to build not necessarily a rundown area because it's not possible with the amount of beautification stuff that I have, but I wanted to build like a nice little out-of-town suburb, if you like. So, cheers, Donny. Thank you very much for the follow. So I wanted to build a little suburby area that kind of fizzled out, if that makes sense. So, if you look at it from here, it's more built up. Let's have a look. It's more built up towards the city, and then towards the outskirts, it gets a little bit, in. But when you get stuck in, some great details in here. So we have, some little alleyways down in here that work really nicely. And again, there's another one here. Look, so just some little alleyways for people to do, I don't know, inconspicuous things, or things you probably shouldn't. Then we extended up here, so we built a nice little community up here. I believe this is Bowhead. So welcome to the little town of Bowhead. Established in, when was this established? I don't know, a few hours ago, a few million hours ago, I think. So nice points to note out here. We have a beautiful little high school in here, which works quite well. I think we have plenty of people going there. Now the Bowheads are not big fans of the people across the river, or across the road anyway, Old Dominion. But I like Old Dominion. I like the churchyard in Old Dominion. So if you want to see an example of how we do the detailing, there we go. So we do have gravestones in the churchyard, and we have it all sealed off at the back of the church. Now the churches themselves act as educational buildings. Okay. And then we have Old Dominion football pitch, which I think looks. Me personally, I quite like Old Dominion football pitch. I like that. Now obviously we filled out the rest of this area, so we have a little high school here. High school and elementary school and a park. Again, all using a lot of custom stuff and a lot of overlapping stuff that makes your game bend and break, if I'm being truthful with you. But I do like that area now. I wasn't a big fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of the white walls, but I just think it's quite nice to have an open area for your kids to, like, you know, it just feels a little bit more like an American high school. Not that I've been to many, but, and then things like this, the little football pitch, I think that just looks nice. Okay. Then we have our hospital grounds here. So all this is part of the hospital grounds, which includes the only fountain in the game. Excuse me. The only fountain in the game that actually runs water down it, and it looks amazing. So we used that at the back of our hospital. Then that leads on to something hills, Horseshoe Hills. That leads on to there. We've got to decide what to do with that little bit. And then again, we have another high school over here with a running track, car park with the fences around it. Oops, we've gone a little bit too fast there. A few things that I like to point out here, and these are great ones to get if you can get them. Type in fence in the workshop, and a guy's made little hedges. So you'll see these more over in the new part of town we were working on. So that I have like hedgerows, look, going around the side, and I just think it looks ace. So I just think that works really well. And the paths that you can create here, look, just work really well. Welcome back, Andy, by the way, welcome back. Favourite part about this part of town, it does have the equestrian centre, just snuck over here in the hills. Oh look, there's somebody driving a Lamborghini to it. How apt. But we have two buildings, and then I added these fields are what I added and put fences round. I even added the horses as well, so they are a little prop that I added in. But again, no, we've left that new part, Andy. Too stressful. But then I guess what's taken up most of my time has been the golf course that we built. Now this will hurt my PC, but we're gonna lag our way over it, guys. So apologies if it lags a bit too much. But yeah, we have a golf course with all the meadows and stuff that we put in, which took a while, I would say. So that's the kind of top part of the golf course, which I think looks beautiful. Really works well. And then I finished off anyway, offline, the rest of it. So we have all of this stuff running alongside the golf course here. Now I'm probably going to be working out taking some pictures of this, because I think some views like that just look special for me. But it's not quite finished yet. There's just one little bit I want to do. So along here, to break up the fence a little bit more, we're going to have a bit more detail along there. I don't know how to get a racetrack, but if I would do, I'd put one in. And that's kind of where we got to, really. The golf course was the last thing that I finished. Oh, I did add this in. Oh yeah, cricket ground would be nice, actually. So the last bit of detailing that I've done, that I've stepped away from for now, is getting a huge kind of industrial area going off near the airport. I think that looks a nice thing. It was a hard thing to do. Am I still got that on? I have now. There we go. so it was a hard thing to do. But I've really enjoyed doing a bit of a custom job around here. So most of what you see here is the only bit that's real. In a way, the only thing that's ploppable is that. So the only thing that you can actually plop is the train station in there. Everything else you see in that area, oh no, I've plopped a few other bits, some of these actually, but everything else you see in that area is customized, so including that lift there, everything, every single piece has been placed by my good self, including the fence. But I really like it. I think it's a great looking effect. Including this train as well, by the way. This train goes nowhere, but it just sits there lurking. So, yeah, what up, Dennis? Welcome back. But yeah, so that's where we're up to. I'd like to finish off this area at some point, but I'm not going to focus on that now. I'm conscious about what time it is. It is about